In today's video, we are going to explore best Osho's quotes about creativity and money. Let's get started. A creative person is one who has insight, who can see things nobody else has ever seen before, who hears things that nobody has heard before. Then there is creativity. Creativity is the fragrance of individual freedom. The basic state of creativity is being in harmony with nature, being in tune with life, with the universe. Meditation is creativity. A creative act enhances the beauty of the world. It gives something to the world. It never takes anything from it. A creative person comes into the world, enhances the beauty of the world. A creative person is one who has insight, who can see things that nobody has ever seen before, who can see things that no eye has ever been able to see, who hears things that nobody has heard before. Then there is creativity. A creative person makes the world dance better, enjoy better, love better, meditate better. A creator has to be able to look foolish. A creator has to risk his so-called respectability. All great creativity happens through people who move from one discipline to another. Belief is not just belief. It opens doors, it closes doors. If you have a wrong belief, then that will hang around you as a closed door. If you believe that you are uncreative, you will become uncreative because that belief will obstruct, continuously negate, all possibilities of flowing. Creative imagination has nothing to do with memory, only then is it creative. Creative means the new, the novel, the original. Creative means the fresh, the unknown. You have to be open for it, vulnerable for it. Creative people almost always go mad. Mediocrities never go mad. They have nothing to go mad over. They have nothing maddening in their lives. Creativity has something to do with the quality of your consciousness. Whatsoever you do can become creative. Creativity is a fragrance of real health. When a person is really healthy and whole, creativity comes naturally to him, the urge to create arises. Creativity is from the Creator. Creativity is not of you or from you. You disappear, then creativity is when the Creator takes possession of you. Creativity is the greatest rebellion in existence. Creativity is the quality that you bring to the activity you are doing. It is an attitude, an inner approach, how you look at things. Creativity is to pulsate in absolute harmony with the total. Things will start happening on their own. Your heart will start pouring songs of joy, your hands will start transforming things. You will touch mud and it will become a lotus. You will be able to become an alchemist. But it is possible only through great awakening of intelligence, great awakening of the heart. Creativity means enjoying any work as meditation, doing any work with deep love. It does not matter whether you paint, sculpt, or make shoes, whether you are a gardener, a farmer, fisherman, a carpenter, it does not matter. Creativity means meditativeness. Creativity means a state of no mind. Then God descends in you, then love flows out of you. Creativity needs freedom, freedom from the mind, freedom from knowledge, freedom from prejudices. Don't be bothered too much about the technique, otherwise you will never be spontaneous. Be a little innovative, that's what creativity is. Innovate new ways, new means. Try something new that nobody has ever done. The greatest creativity happens in people whose training is of some other discipline. Don't confine creativity to anything particular. Drop all beliefs that you are uncreative. Drop the knowledge and become more creative. Remember, knowledge is gathered, you need not be creative about it, you have only to be receptive. Each person can be creative. If he is meditative and egoless, then God starts flowing through him. Every creative soul, it does not matter what he creates, should be respected and honored, so that creativity is honored. But even politicians get Nobel Prizes, who are nothing but clever criminals. Find nirvana in the ordinary. First you become receptive, and then you become creative. And once you have dropped your ego, you become so flexible, that whatsoever you imagine will happen. Then your imagination will become your reality. If you are creative deep inside you, will you be fulfilled with joy? Deep inside you, will you be full of joy and celebration? You will be continuously receiving more and more blessings. Your life will be a life of benediction. If you can smile wholeheartedly, hold somebody's hand and smile, then it is a creative act, a great creative act. If you really want to be creative, you will have to accept that you can't be famous, you can't be well known. If you really want to be creative, then you have to learn the simple phenomenon of art for art's sake. For no other motive. If you really want to be creative, then there is no question of money, success, prestige, respectability, then you enjoy your activity, then each act has an intrinsic value. You dance because you like dancing, you dance because you delight in it. Intellect is in the head, intelligence is a state of heart wakefulness. When your heart is awake, when your heart is dancing in deep gratitude, when your heart is in tune with existence, in harmony with existence, out of that harmony is creativity. Intelligence is a totally different dimension. It has nothing to do with the head, it has something to do with heart. Intelligence is certainly creative, because intelligence brings your totality into functioning, not only a part, a small part, the head. It is possible that outwardly you may not be famous, you may not have money, you may not succeed in this so-called world. Is to fail deeply, is to fail in the inside world. And what you are going to do with the whole world at your feet if you have lost your own self? What will you do if you possess the whole world and you don't possess yourself? A creative person possesses his own being, he is a master. It is the person who is creative, and if a man is creative, then whatsoever he does, even if he walks, you can see walking there is creativity. Jesus' statements are creative. Just embrace somebody to your heart and you are creative. Just look with loving eyes at somebody, just a loving look can change the whole world of a person. Live the moment in the context of the moment, and your response will be total. And that totality has beauty, and that totality is creativity. Then whatsoever you do will have beauty of its own. Meaning comes out of creativity. Naturally, you have to risk. If you want to be creative, you will have to risk all. But it is worth it. A little creativity is more worthwhile than this whole world and its kingdom. Nature gives everybody energy that is creative. It becomes destructive only when it is obstructed, when no natural flow is allowed. Once you drop psychological memory, you will become creative. One thing has to be remembered, if you are really creative you may not become famous. A really creative person takes time to become famous because he has to create the values, new criteria, only then can he be judged. Only a creative person knows how to drop boredom. The creative person knows no boredom at all. He is thrilled, enchanted, he is constantly in a state of adventure. Our whole attitude about life is money-oriented. And money is one of the most uncreative things one can become interested in. Our whole approach is power-oriented and power is destructive, not creative. People are afraid of the unknown. People feel insecure with the unknown. They don't want to go beyond the familiar, hence they have created a false, plastic substitute for intelligence, they call it intellect. Intellect is only a mental game. It cannot be creative. Remember, a creative person always goes on trying the wrong ways. If you always follow the right way to do a thing you will never be creative, because the right way means the way discovered by others. That is creativity. Allowing God to happen is creativity. Creativity is a religious state. Creativity means you are in total relaxation. The creative person has to dissolve all should and should nots. He needs freedom and space, vast space, he needs the whole sky and all the stars. Only then can his innermost spontaneity start growing. The creative person is bound to be punished by the world, remember it. The creative person is one who brings something from the unknown into the world of the known, who brings something from God into the world, who helps God to utter something, who becomes a hollow bamboo and allows God to flow through him. The greater a person is, the more time it takes for people to recognize him, because when a great person is born, there is no criteria to judge him by, there are no maps to find him with. He has to create his own values. By the time he has created those values, he is gone. The more creative you become, the godlier you become. The more memory you have, the less creative you will be, because you will go on repeating the memory, and creativity means allowing the new to happen. Allowing the new to happen means putting aside your memory so the past does not interfere. The mystic is the highest form of creativity. The ultimate creativity is the meaning of your life. The very ambition for money is going to destroy your creativity. If you want fame, then forget about creativity. There are people who have a born capacity to be musician. Mozart started playing beautiful music at the age of 8. When he was 8, other great masters of music were not anywhere near him. Now this man was born with creativity. There have been many creative people who have never been recognized. It is accidental for a creative person to be successful. Nature gives everybody energy which is creative. It becomes destructive only when it is obstructed, when no natural flow is allowed. We need now a more enriched human being, three-dimensional. I call them 3 C's. The first is consciousness, the second C is compassion, and the third C is creativity. What is the difference between manufacturing and creating? Manufacturing is a mechanical activity. Computers can do it, they are already doing it, and doing it in a far more efficient way that you can hope from man. Intelligence creates, it does not manufacture. Manufacturing means a repetitive exercise. What has already been done, you go on doing again and again. Creativity means bringing the new into existence, making a way for the unknown to penetrate the known, making a way for the sky to come to the earth. What matters are you putting your very soul into what you are creating? Then your creative products have something of the quality of them. Then your products have something of quality of divine. Life consists of small things, just your ego goes on saying these are small things. You would like some great thing to do, a great poetry. You would like to become Shakespeare or Kalidas Milton. It is your ego that is creating the trouble. Whatsoever you do, if you do it joyfully, lovingly, if your act of doing is not purely economic, then it is creative. If something grows out of it within you, it gives you growth, it is spiritual, it is creative, it is divine. When I say be creative, I don't mean that you should all go and become great painters and great poets. I simply mean let your life be a painting, let your life be a poet. When you are creative, desires disappear. When you are creative, ambitions disappear. When you are creative, you are already that which you always wanted to be. When you become accustomed to one discipline, when you become imprisoned with the technique, just slip out of it into another discipline. It is a good idea, a great idea to go on moving from one discipline into another. You will find yourself become more and more creative. When you want to climb to the highest peak of the mountains, it is arduous. And when you have reached the peak and you lie down, whispering with the clouds, looking at the sky, the joy that fills your heart, the joy always comes whenever you reach any peak of creativity. When your creativity comes to a climax, when your whole life becomes creative, you live in God. Why does it happen creative people go mad? Because they are so occupied, so many things are happening in the mind. They don't have a space of their own within themselves. You become more divine as you become more silent, more creative. You don't need to go to school to learn creativity. All that you need is to go withinward and help ego dissolve. If you see a painter painting, certainly he is active, utterly active, madly active, he is all action. Or if you see a dancer dancing, he is all action. But still, deep down there is not actor, no doer, there is only silence. Hence I say creativity is a state of paradox. You have to drop wrong, hypnotic suggestions that have been given to you in your childhood. Drop them. Purify yourself of all conditionings. And suddenly you will see you are creative. All religions together have made man as poor as possible. They have condemned money so much, and praised poverty so much, that as far as I am concerned, they are the greatest criminals the world has known. Perhaps I am the first person who is respectful of money, of wealth, because it can make you multidimensional rich. Just as there are born poets, born painters, I would like you to remember there are born wealth creators. They have never been appreciated. Wealth is as significant as beautiful music, as great literature, as masterpieces of art. I respect money. Money is one of the greatest inventions of man. Money is a tremendous invention. It makes people richer, it makes people capable of having things that they don't have. But all the religions have been against it. Drop all ideas that have imposed about money. Be respectful to it. Create wealth, because only after creating wealth do many other dimensions open up for you. Please let us know your favorite quotes from these best Osho's quotes about creativity and money in the comments section. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.